First meet Callan and Andrew. It's been a while since Andrew fell unconscious due to a mystery man readily sapping his brain out. The first thing he feels is that the weight in his eyes from contact lenses are no longer there because it has been taken out. He is somewhere lying down on the bed with many restraint straps to his wrists, arms, legs, and across his body to make sure that he won't be able to move an inch. Andrew will feel them immediately when he decides to move his body to stretch. At least, he can still look into his left and right. Discover that himself ended up at an operation table, surrounded by a little trolley that contained many surgical instruments, heart monitor, and surgical light that currently turned off. Hover further above his body. His surrounding is pretty dark, but he can see light in front of him. If he used a little bit of his strength to lift his head and look what in front of him, he can see that this room is being separated by a curtain from the office area. Further away from that, he can see the source of the light. 2 computer monitors and 1 shadowy figure using it. Tapping sound can be heard from there. The man is surrounded by a bunch of papers, cabinets, and a board that also full of pin paper. The man still did not notice that Andrew already awake, talking mumbling to himself while using the computer. The blueberry hair finally wake up after being unconscious for a long time. Before doing anything, however, he tries to move his arm and leg. Feeling that it was restrained, he tried to wiggle in a little bit laughter, making a little bit of sound in the progress.
Hey, could you not shocking me again? Why you even doing this anyway?
He speaks up and asks in calmly manner. Try not to freak out. The man suddenly stops as soon as he hears the sound, then quickly stands up and walks toward him. Andrew can see his face even more clearer now. Run his finger to start to check if it is doing its job. Then stare at Andrew for a while like he's trying to figure what to do with him. Be grateful that I'm not locking you in a cell yet. He answered Andrew with his raspy voice while using a floating hologram screen to take a note. Andrew equipment he bought are all gathered at the office counter besides the man computer. It seems like he got through Andrew's stuff already and is probably checking everything. The shocking part, I will not guarantee, since I'm not really satisfied much when I electrocuted you in the reactor room.
Sadistic bastard,
he softly mumbling as a reply.
Oh, you not satisfied with it? Maybe you should plug me on electric chair then.
The man stared at him with even wider eyes than usual. That's a new answer he never received when he decided to drag someone back to his underground facility. They usually either scream their lungs out, crying and shaking, or literally just went mad. Everyone who ends up here, he usually ends their misery by killing them and using their corpse for fertilizer or having fun leaving their guts out to make cat food. He then smirks at Andrew, probably one of the creepiest smirks Andrew could ever see in his entire life, because it comes from a man who planned to make Andrew's life here a hell on earth. That's a funny answer for someone who just got immobilized on an operating table. In a snap, he suddenly grabs Andrew's face tightly so that his finger can be pierced deep into his cheeks and send pain right up into his skull. getting his face close to stare at him even closer.
What? Do you want it that much? Are you a muscle kid? Do you like getting tortured then? Because I do have electric chair prepared for you, Andrew. Okay, never mind. Hold on. It's just a joke. A joke.
Feeling his fingers piercing his cheek would cause him to bite his lip to contain his voice as a little bit.
But how do you know my name?
The man suddenly stops when Andrew states that he said it's as a joke, and that makes him piss off even more and decides to unscrew some parts of the table and move parts here and there to make the table become a leaning chair instead. He starts walking around to gather equipment.
A little dig into your custom-made system.
He answered briefly while carrying something that looks like a box that has a monitor, some buttons and knobs that you can turn left and right to adjust, and also a bunch of wires connecting here and there to a car battery.
Okay. That actually much better now. I thought I had to be laying there forever.
Getting his laying position suddenly turning to a sitting position would caught him off guard by surprise, but not that a bad one really. It's sure as hell better than laying unable to move.
Look, maybe we can just talk this out. You don't have to do this, you know. I'm just nobody. Okay, I really don't like where this is going now, Callan. That is your name, right? The details from that dress matches you perfectly.
He seems to be a little bit more calmer now, but still tense up. It would be better if he could just get the restraint off of him.
Oh, that thread? You mean the thread that made?
He smirks and says in a sarcastic tone, then slowly pulls out his phone from his left coat pocket to show him that exact thread, telling people about a hometown horror story on that god-forsaken website. Andrew coming to this place was something planned after all.
We finally meet, Andrew.
The man who named Callan Andersons gave him a sadistic smile and opened his arm while in a mocking welcome manner. Of course, the boy who is strapped into the operation table doesn't feel any welcome. The restraint Callan strap over his limbs will not come out anytime soon, since it is literally being made to hold someone in place.
That's no way.
He was speechless upon hearing his response. That whole thread was just a trap waiting for someone angry enough to take the bait. He looked away from looking at Callan with distressed expression on his face. Obviously, he didn't expect that person to be him. Callan stared at Andrew's disbelief expression and followed by smiling creepily at him, letting out a tiny relief sigh. Now, that is the face I wanted to see. His smile got even wider, the way his own sentence can literally destroy someone immediately. Very amused, a sadistic bastard like Callan. This is probably will be his best week ever.
Look, I won't tell anyone about this, okay? If you can just let me go, then I'll be on my way. And you never get to see me snooping around here. It's a win-win deal, right?
He quickly tilted his head to look back up at Callan and try to pledge for his freedom once again. He listened to Andrew try to plead for his mercy, and that made his heart race even more. The terrified look, the shaky voice, the way that he literally got this boy right in his palm, literally makes Callan unable to keep his excitement.
No, Andrew, you don't understand.
He smiles while reaching his hand to grab his brewery hair tight, drag his head around slowly, then pull his head closer to him so Andrew can hear his next sentence loud and clear. You are destined to be here, to be my little two, and bring me what I want.